What's going on, guys? Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Dustin. I'm sitting here with Brent. Gilbert Arenas. The big news in the NBA right now. What a mess. Apparently, you're not allowed to bring guns into the Verizon Center.
Who would have known?
I guess, yeah, it's a no-no.
I always bring my gun when I go to the game, personally.
I wouldn't tell too many people that. But anyway, he's suspended indefinitely. Our guess is probably 30 games or more, maybe even the whole season.
Yeah, I'm a big Gilbert fan, so I'm a little bit biased. I think Stern's going a little over the top with this one. Artest went in the stands and punched a fan, and he's probably going to get about the same amount of games as Gilbert, but there are fantasy implications, so go ahead.
We'll see what happens, but this opens up the door for guys like Foy, Nick Young, Boykins, even Mike Miller out there in Washington. All these guys are going to get a boost in value, so if you're looking for some guys in deeper leagues, all four of these guys are worth a look.
Alright, now we're going to take a look at some guys you should be looking to add in most standard leagues. And the first one's Omri Caspi. He's playing out there with the Kings. In the last 4 games, he's had over 20 points in each, playing a ton of minutes. If you need a score, he's a great add. Then we have Yi for the Nets. He's owned in about 65% of leagues, and since coming back from his injury, he's averaged 20.5 points and about 6 rebounds. I mean, those are great fantasy numbers for any league that I know of. And then we have Lou Williams for the 76ers. He had a fractured jaw. He's back from this injury, but people were nervous about repicking him up because of Allen Iverson's out there, and he's still only owned in 70% of leagues. This guy should be universally owned. He's starting with Iverson. They're playing a 2-point guard type scheme out there. He's getting a lot of minutes. He's going to get you points, assists, a couple threes. He's a great fantasy ad.
We got 2 other guys for you that we think are must-adds in all leagues. First is Nate Robinson, still only owned in 55% of leagues, even though he is back and playing. We all know what he can do when he's asked to score and when he plays the minutes. And the last guy we think you should add in all leagues is Kenyon Martin. He's only owned in 65% of leagues. I know he's old, I know he's injury-prone, but in the last 6 games he's been playing about 37 minutes a game, getting about 10 rebounds and 16 points. You cannot ignore those numbers for too long. I know he could get hurt at any minute, but you might as well ride out this hot streak. Alright, let's take a look at some guys we think you should add in deeper leagues. We're going to start out there with the Wizards and Foy and Nick Young. We think these 2 guys are going to benefit the most with the Gilbert suspension, so we do think these guys will get a boost in minutes and production. Next, Waiver Austin, only owned in 15% of leagues. He's been dropped by the Nets, and it looks like Miami's going to pick him up. Expect Austin to get about 30 minutes a game and put up his numbers that he was putting up last year and the year before. Moving down, we got Martell Webster, only owned in 25% of leagues right now. Portland is so banged up, they hardly have any healthy bodies. He's been playing a ton of minutes, scoring a ton of points, and getting a lot of threes. You got to ride out this hot streak in deeper leagues if he's still available. Next, we got Luther Head, only owned in 20% of leagues. This guy's been on fire lately. He's not going to do much more than score for you, but he's been starting and playing really well for the Pacers.
Alright, and I got 2 guys. First one's Matt Barnes. He's owned in about 25% of leagues. He's now starting for the Orlando Magic. Good source of threes, rebounds, and some points. Decent role player in deeper leagues. And then we have Juwan Howard, the ageless wonder apparently. I remember when he was a Bullet years ago. Either way, Juwan Howard's owned in 10% of leagues. He's pretty much the last center out there for the Trailblazers.
He's not even a center.
But he's the only big guy they got, really. So, due to that fact, he's playing a lot of minutes, serviceable fantasy player right now. And we have one guy you should keep an eye on, and that's Taj Gibson for the Chicago Bulls. He's playing inconsistent numbers, but when he gets the minutes, he's just a rebounding machine, a lot of intangibles. Keep an eye on him. If he ends up even getting close to consistent minutes, he's going to be worth an ad.
And that's it for this week's show. If you got any questions, feel free to post them in our forums. Brent and I will see you here next week. Gilbert.